Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Jennifer Rice. If please silence your cell phones. Today we are lucky. She needs no introduction. We're so happy to welcome our beloved Shara. Woohoo! She is the executive director of Unity Communications and Leaders, all the way from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Her talk title today is Spirit Isn't Cooperating, How I Try, I know, right? How I Tried to Bait and Switch God. I can't wait to hear about that one. That's going to be interesting. Also, plus the Voices of Unity Choir under the dragon. Yeah, give them a hand, everybody. Under the direction of Carol Roman and accompanied by Leslie Sharp. Next Saturday, Craig Stevensville, excuse me, and Mary Jean will have a spiritual renewal retreat here in the sanctuary. And we are also offering a special appearance by Stacy Pendleton for a time of sound bath and musical accompaniment. The retreat on Saturday is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Snacks and coffee will be provided, but bring a lunch if you would like. The love offering is suggested at $40, which is a pretty good value for this kind of offering, I think. So please join us if you can, right? Next Sunday, June 14th, is our membership orientation with Reverend Blair for those who are interested in learning more about Unity and the path to membership. It starts at 1 p.m. and it's in the family room, which is the room right across the way over here. And just a reminder that there is still time to register for Reverend Blair's class on the Gospel of Thomas, which is beginning on June 18th. More information is available at the welcome table, which is just right outside the door. And today is Birthday Sunday. So if you have a birthday in June, would you please stand so that we can celebrate you? And now everybody please stand for our congregational song.
There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me.
great song for our anthem. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Nevin Valentine, and I'm one of your prayer chaplains here at Unity of Tustin. It's my honor and privilege to be here with you and to open the service by lighting the Christ candle. And today's daily word talks about spirit as living water. So as I light the candle, I ask you to join me in connecting with the living water or spirit within. Okay? I had a dream last night that I couldn't find the lighter. It was like behind where Jack is, under the... I had to crawl around to get it. Oh. Okay. So the daily word today is prayer. Isn't that perfect? Prayer with our beloved Shara with us today. It's such a blessing to have her. Such a generous offer for her to come again from Kansas City. Come back here again. Thank you. The affirmation is prayer flows through my life. And the scripture is from Ephesians 6:18. Pray in the Spirit at all times in every prayer and supplication. We don't supplicate here. But we do pray. We're very much based on prayer. So just as my body needs water to stay healthy, my soul draws strength from living water, the ever-flowing presence of spirit within me. As I drink from this well, I'm refreshed and ready to meet each moment prayerfully. Fortified by divine love, prayer flows naturally. When challenges or opportunities arise, I turn inward. When I start or complete a task, I pause to express gratitude. When I meet someone in need or am helped by another, I hold them in thoughts of light and love. Whether I pray aloud or pray silently, the prayerful energy arising from within me is a blessing. I open myself to Spirit's presence, and my prayer practice deepens. Prayer flows as naturally as breath itself, an inspired rhythm of life sustained by living water that never runs dry. Blessings to you. And now, please join me. Oh, wait, we got to say the affirmation. So excited to get Shara back up here. Okay, the affirmation is prayer flows throughout my life. I'll say it once and let's say it together. Prayer flows. I'll say it once again. Prayer flows throughout my life. Together. Prayer flows throughout my life. And here she is, our beloved Reverend Shara. Give it up for her.
Hello, beloved family, Unity of Tustin family. First, some housekeeping. See, I live here. I can rearrange the furniture. It is lovely, lovely, lovely to be back with you all. And you know, this is my last scheduled visit here, and I can say, like, what am I even doing here? Because I'm not really needed. This is kind of, no, hear me out. I'm going to argue with y'all. But when we created this, you know, things happen really fast. Like, I'm signing a lease in Kansas City, a lease summit, before my house plants even knew they were relocating. I mean, this was all pretty quick. And we're like, well, there needs to be a transition and, you know, come back once a month, maybe for 3 months. And of course, we have a relationship, and of course, I miss you, and you miss me, but you know, y'all are doing really well. And this is what we designed, me, Craig, and Blair. We really designed a community that had a flat hierarchy and participatory leadership and a lot of empowerment and ministering to each other so that the network of the community could withstand big changes without imploding, because the center of gravity is around us, around we, and not around personalities. And we know by the fruits, and I think the fruits are looking pretty beautiful. So congratulations, Unity of Tustin. Now you might say, well, how is that possible? We don't even really have candidates yet for the position. So a couple of things. One is there really isn't a lot of urgency. Some ministries, when a minister leaves, have a mandatory 2-year interim minister before a new minister can even be brought on. The Presbyterians do this, for example, because a pause between leadership is actually healthy for a community. It's a healthy reset. It's kind of like a palate cleanser between wine tastings. And that's Jesus' first miracle, so that reference is welcome here. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's something even maybe divinely ordered around a very spacious transition period. The second reason we're in good shape is we still have Craig, we still have Reverend Blair, and we have Mary Jean Hawes in the house, who I would say is the finest interim minister I've ever experienced. So you might say, well, how is that possible? That woman is under so much stress. One morning she woke up and she couldn't move. Now, I don't know if you know this about Mary Jean. Mary Jean had a kind of medical incident. Some of you know, some of you don't. She's doing great. You can see her. She's progressing. It's completely reversible. But I get a call one day from Mary Jean, Shara, I need an hour of your time. So I call Mary Jean, and some of you know this story, some of you don't. So I'm going to tell it with her permission. So my assessment, because I am still a licensed therapist in the state of New Mexico, is that my dear, wonderful friend Mary Jean is thriving. Her kids arguably have never been better. She's got this great relationship with John. She is the interim minister of a community that is doing extremely well. We're doing well financially, we're doing well with leadership, we're having a great time finding engaging speakers. And then Mary Jean gives what's becoming characteristically an exceptional talk. And it's a talk where not only is the talk really good and about something meaningful, what do we do with spiritual teachers whose behaviors are out of alignment with their espoused values? She takes it a level deeper and moves away from this geometry of platform congregation, which is wonderful, but maybe we need to evolve out of it, and experiments with getting our voices. And the conversation was fantastic. It was almost like every one of you were planted to be wise and succinct with a diverse point of view, so there's no one right. And Mary Jean went home elated. It couldn't have gone better, she said. She falls asleep. The next day she wakes up and she really can't move her legs. Isn't that right? Something like that? Yeah. And some of you who know this kind of think, well, Mary Jean's under so much stress. Everything's so stressful at Unity of Tustin. All this is on her shoulders and her legs. So I have my hour consult with Mary Jean, and Mary Jean's like, I love it. Because it feels good to do what we're competent doing. And Mary Jean's a very competent leader, a very competent interim minister. Everything's going well in her life. So because I know the DSM-5 like the back of my hand, and I know a lot of the little asterisk diagnoses that most y'all don't know about, I was able to diagnose Mary Jean. And by the authority vested in me from the state of New Mexico, I have diagnosed Mary Jean Hawes with traumatic joy. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Traumatic joy. A joy span, not just a lifespan. Because sometimes our bodies can't handle all the blessings. Sometimes we have to cultivate the capacity to stand being the Christ that we are. Sometimes our bodies need time in their density to catch up to our soul's knowing, to be the leaders we are. And that's actually very much in alignment with our unity origin. Christianity was kind of about if I flagellate myself just enough in the right way and grovel and supplicate with the perfect sincerity, I will be graced with blessings and an eternal life. And our founders thought there was something missing. The missing to be and live the truth of who we are, that we were made in the image and likeness of God, and therefore we are originally blessed, and we get to own and participate that blessing as us in the world. And it is not something that's a one and done. You just can't take a shower once. It's something that is a capacity that needs to be cultivated. And one of the reasons we come together as New Thought communities is to expand our capacity to give and receive love and joy so we can have traumatic breakthroughs of expansion. So let's bring that into prayer right now. So I invite everyone to take a deep breath and let it out one big, let's hear it. Make room for that joy. Yeah. And allow yourself to embody your nervous system, feel your nervous system, and see it, almost see it open, these little pores, these receptacles, these buds of receivership that can tolerate magnificence. And you might even want to speak to your nerve. It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay to shine that bright. It's okay to dream that big. It's okay to say such an enthusiastic yes. It is okay to revel in that magnificent moment that you recognized yesterday. It's okay to pray under the jacaranda as it pelts you with lilac blessings. It's okay to be part of this cloth of love that we call Unity of Tustin, and to show up full out even if you stumble here and there. And our work together is to create the root system so that we can flow with the challenges of life and the extraordinary blessings of life. Because we need each other in order to have the agility to span the spectrum of human experience. So just allow yourself again to breathe that in and then hold your breath a little bit. And then just take another sip of air, because you can hold more life than you even know. And feel it shine out. And when you are ready, exhale with love and grace. And let's anchor and water that dose of love just past your comfort zone with some beautiful music from our gloriously orange Voices of Unity Choir. Thank you, my orange colleagues. That was fabulous. So I'm going to talk, this is a micro moment of really the way of living in grace, which I have not been doing at Unity headquarters this last quarter. This is the reset, and I'll tell you a little about it. But I come to service today for the first time in 3.5 years not wearing orange. And I look around and I find out it's Orange Choir Sunday. And I'm like, wow, that's odd. And Margie Kerrigan comes up to me and says, "This is from Orange County, I got you something." And I look. It's this. And, Spirit wanted me to match. Spirit has standards. Thank you. Thank you for your thoughtfulness, for seeing something that works, but there's also then this divine order of harmonizing. See, this is the point of daring to be authentic. Because when we are authentic and we come from source, even in our diversity, there's a harmonic. And we create music as a community, even as it's very different. So, what have I been up to the last 3 months at Unity of Tustin? Unity World Headquarters. One of the, for me, this is a cosmic reset. So the good news is Unity World Headquarters is a lovely organization. It's well run. It's very healthy. Jim Blake is my colleague. He's my boss. He's the head of Unity World Headquarters. He's done tremendous work modernizing the organization, having it be financially vibrant and diverse, up-leveling the culture. There is an assessment that's done with many major organizations, and we do it 2 hours as well, and we score in the top 10% of staff trust and leadership, in walking your talk and living your values and feeling honored as a staff member. Many people leave and they all want to come back. So things are really good. I will say I'm very much into new wineskins, right? And the wineskin I feel I stepped into was a wineskin of lots of meetings and lots of emails and lots of hours. And I knew it was to a level that was not sustainable, but I was going to prove myself. I was going to get in there and roll up my sleeves and work 60-hour weeks and then try to get a social life and try to go to different, Unity ministries and do it all. And I did it all. And we were starting to build our team and make some progress. And it's true. There's lots of things we see that can be very helpful in a shoulder-to-shoulder partnership with our movement to up-level our movement. There are beautiful things that now merged. We have the depth and capacity to create digital, modifiable toolkits for any ministry in the country who wants it, to how to onboard new members, how to create a legacy campaign, how to create a capital campaign, how to hire your minister, how to do HR best practices, rather than all 400 of our communities doing it from scratch with tiny staff. We can now partner and provide such things, up-level our movement, and free ministers and leaders up to actually minister and innovate and be present. So all of these things are exciting and they're true, and they're not going to happen tomorrow, and they're probably not even going to happen the day after tomorrow. Because in this kind of passion to move forward and bring things forward, I got caught up in the my will versus thy will. And after a very successful town hall where I had multiple voices and it was really kind of dynamic, and the field is really, the center of gravity of the field is very healthy. There is a pattern or a history of about 90% of complaints to headquarters coming from ministers. But I like to remind everyone that 90% of ministers don't complain. So, there might be, did you catch that? Yeah, the center of gravity of who we are is really quite healthy, mature, and vital, but we haven't done such a good job on boundaries and creating systems that make everyone feel heard. So that's some work we need to do. So we have this great town hall, and the next day, the 2 people that we hired for the team to start building out the team so we can do all of this, so then I don't have to work so much and then it can be sustainable, resign. Bonnie's laughing so hard, she's like, sorry. I guess it wasn't funny for you. And it's like, Spirit, you're not cooperating. You're not doing it my way. And, it really was, it's been a great lesson. It's been a great lesson of that discernment period of my way versus thy way. And I had this idea that I'm sure many of you can relate to. While I'm vulnerable, let me do it right. Let me play by the rules. Let me bolster my ego. Let me prove myself. Let me get things orderly. Let me be in control. And once I look shiny and good, then I'll give it over to you, God. And the problem with that is our foundation is the blueprint of the outpicturing, right? So had I been successful in the bait and switch, it would have manifested downstream. So this has been a reset of what does it really mean to let go and let God in a more cooperative way right from the beginning. And I talked to Jim about this because this isn't about work-life balance. It's about limits. I just simply can't do more. And there are things that we really want to do, conversations we're having. We're connecting to Centers for Spiritual Living and Anton and the different new thought movements and what can we do together and what we can do with education together. And I'm going to be meeting a donor, and I'm privileged to do a special service in Texas for the 4th of July for our 250th anniversary, which is also the anniversary of the flood that killed all of those Girl Scouts a year ago, this year. And me and Maggie Alderman, who's the head of Silent Unity, are going to be doing the service at Unity of Kurzville in that area. So like there's these, but then how can that happen with operations with the 2 people we need now no longer there, right? And he said, Shara, being here, what I've learned about this campus is our teaching, that there is a magic here. And when things are meant to happen, they unfold. So don't worry so much about operations. Just do what needs to be done. And divine order as life will put in front of you something in alignment which will show you which seeds to water in what order. So let go. And isn't that Jesus' primary teaching? Do not cling. Let go and let God. So there's a couple of places I wanted to go with this, and I'm not sure if they matter anymore. So let me take a moment. I'll come here because it's kind of full circle. Like I began my adult journey with my senior thesis in college. and I wrote on the Odyssey. The title of my thesis was, "For long ago the nymph had ceased to please." Odysseus wasn't pleased by his life away from Ithaca anymore, but he just couldn't go home. So for long ago, the nymph had ceased to please. And then the subtitle was, "Why in hell can Odysseus just go home?" And at 21 years old, I was very proud of myself to have hell in my title, because that's on my transcript. And it was like, but this is, why in hell did it take the Israelites 40 years to get to the promised land? It was an 11-day journey. For Odysseus, you could see Ithaca. It was supposed to be a short journey. It took 10 years. What's going on in the myths of wisdom that we know these things take a long time? And there is this journey of ego. So Odysseus is the hero of heroes of the Trojan War. He created the Trojan horse that got the Greeks in there so they could defeat the Trojans and go home. So he was the man of the world. And on his way home, he is captured by Polyphemus, which is the Cyclops, the son of Poseidon, and he's going to eat him and his men. And he finds a way to blind him, and then they all escape. And when they escape, Polyphemus says, "Who did this to me?" And Odysseus said, "Nobody. My name is Nobody. Nobody did this to me." And Polyphemus cries out to his father Poseidon, "You must get revenge on the person who blinded your son." And Poseidon said, "I will. Who did it?" And he says, "Nobody. Nobody did this to me." And Odysseus is able to do the second biggest trickery of all of mankind, right? Well, if only we didn't need a victory lap. So as he's sailing away, his hubris kicked in, and he says, "By the way, Polyphemus, it wasn't nobody, it was me, Odysseus, the son of Laertes from Ithaca." And guess who found out? Daddy Poseidon. And now Daddy Poseidon could do something about it. And it took 10 years for Odysseus to get from pure ego to manageable ego. And right before he arrives home, he's shipwrecked again, and he's holding on to one of the pieces of the raft, barely surviving. He's just about to drown. And this goddess, who also drowned and now has this capacity for compassion and saving, comes and sits on the edge of the collapsing raft as a seagull and says, "Here's my veil. It's called Eno's veil. If you put this on, you will survive. No one can drown with this veil." And Odysseus is like, how do I know this isn't a trick? How can I trust God? He's favored by Athena. How can I let go? How can I not cling? And like so many of us, he clings on to that piece of wood until it absolutely dissolves. And only once it's eaten by piranhas and he's falling to his death does he grab the veil, and does it save him. So how many times have you done that? That you cling on to what you know, to what's familiar, to the old wineskin, to the guarantee, to the ego, and only when you are literally dying will you trust what your soul already knows is the deeper truth. And even that is a trust fall. Sometimes there's wisdom to why we're brought to our knees, because then we get the experience, yes, the veil worked all along. And maybe there's a way I can attune and perceive the veil when it's not being handed to me. And maybe there's a way I can cooperate with the veil. And maybe there's a way I can live with the veil, so even when I wear green on Orange Sunday, somehow love orchestrates me to match. It's the way so many of us know is the true way. But why do we not just shower once? Why do we have to keep coming back? Because it's a capacity that we have to keep exercising. And when we do, life becomes more of a harmony, more of a beautiful tapestry in our usness, and more becomes possible. Does this feel true? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's all take another deep breath. So yeah, I was clinging on that known, that little piece of raft, not wanting to trust the veil. And you know, it's a big thing. It's even a bigger leap for an institution, an organization to trust Eno's veil, to trust divine order. There's a lot at stake. And it's not one or the other. There's always the dance. But it's moving from inspiration, but then putting feet on it. That's what we do as embodied humans. So in like capacities of wisdom, there are a few things that stand out. People who are wisdom holders tend to have institutional memory. We need elders around. Unity is very much a movement of eldering at every age. How do we express our greatest wholeness in every stage of development? And in the eldering process, we learn and then we can hold that wisdom. Elders also plant the trees under whose shade we shall not sit. There's a transcendence of individual ego, and action is often inspired by that. And elders have an amazing capacity for discernment. They know how to separate the wheat from the chaff. And in the eldering process, the discernment is, Erik Erikson talks about generativity versus stagnation. That's the eldering choice point, to stagnate or to keep being generative, to keep evolving. At the same time, elders do not hold on to power forever. And at some point, they let go. They get out of the way and they mentor the next generation. So how do we know when it's ours to claim or ours to give away? Because this is another stage, this is another sequence. We have to claim, then embody, then release. Claim, embody, release. Now, what we forget is that we claim, embody, and release at every age, including the eldering age. We are always in evolution. We are always Christ in evolution. And we are always needing to pass it on. So I think the other thing in my diagnosis of Mary Jean's traumatic joy that was at play is Mary Jean has mentioned publicly and privately that they have a belief that at 76 years old, the only proper way to be is in a rocking chair knitting. You know, this is the respectable thing a 76-year-old is to do, is to go out to pasture, like a good cow. You know, but all of us, of all ages, some of us still have things to claim, and some of us has things to let go. So, Mary Jean chapter is to claim the authority. Not fitting to let it go. She's got to let go over worrying about her kids, right? I'm sure you can find things like, what do you need to bring in and claim? What's knocking at your door? And then what do you need to let go? At Unity World Headquarters, I needed to let go. And, claim a new wineskin for institutional leadership. So that's the discernment. So each of us has to discern what is ours to do. And then in the middle, we embody it. And in that embodiment, we don't know. There's no guarantees. We might be successful in the three-dimensional world according to those parameters, or we might be successful in terms of an authentic alignment that's going to live on in the noosphere and make authenticity more possible for all of us, even if it falls apart in the three-dimensional world. That's how we get away from being attached to outcome to prove our success. Where are we living from, and where is that discernment coming from? So the fascinating part about the Odyssey is we only get to see the journey, and then we get to see Odysseus come back to Ithaca, vanquish the suitors, free his wife Penelope. After 20 years away, 10 at war, 10 getting home, him and Penelope have one romantic night together that is so beautiful, even the gods push back the sun so the night is a little bit longer for them to enjoy their reunion. And then what doesn't get written about, and the movie that was never made, is Tiresias the seer comes up from the underworld to give Odysseus his final journey. After the one night of reunion with his beloved Penelope, he needs to go on another journey. And in this journey, he takes his oar. He is a hero of the sea. He takes his oar and he has to walk and walk and walk until his story, his oar, are so unrecognized. The townspeople ask him, "Why are you carrying a winnowing fan?" And a winnowing fan is an oar-shaped basket that separates the wheat from the chaff. He's told to journey into his own obscurity, where no one recognizes what an oar even is. And that is the deepest spiritual journey, when we are able to embrace our own insignificance. And when someone says to him, "Why are you carrying this winnowing fan?" at that place is where he is to plant it as a temple for the gods. And that is when he finds his deepest spirituality. Now just take a deep breath, breathe that in. And I've said this many, many times. We're all here partly for some ego striving. I just came from the Integral Conference of North America, where we study maps of consciousness. And all of us want to think that we are in the cutting edge tier of human evolution. I mean, it's so weird. You know, it's like, no, I'm coral. No, I'm teal. No, I'm turquoise. You know, I'm not. I'll tell you that right now. You know, I'm not. I'm actually committed to a very three-dimensional life. I'm trying to implement things on an institutional level. This is not like unembodied high-tier stuff. But there's a book by Bill Plotkin that I love that talks about human development in an ideal healthy society, where we go from like the child to the adult to the older adult to the sage, etc. And when we go from one stage to the other, Bill Plotkin ends each stage with, and it was very bittersweet because early adulthood was the very best stage. Or, you know, moving out of sage it was bittersweet because sage was the very best stage, right? So it's like, my stage is the very best stage. I don't really care where it's located. But I'm actually grateful. I'm grateful I'm not at the top of the top of the top, because I would be journeying well past Missouri into recognition of my own insignificance and obscurity. And I don't want that. No, I mean, we say we're on this spiritual journey and we want to evolve, and we do. That is sincere. But we don't. Because it's really hard work. And obliteration of ego is no small thing. And yet, when it is time, life will provide the unfolding for us to participate in, where we will evolve in divine order, in divine timing, to our next level of consciousness, knowing, being, and love, and wholeness on the planet. Really, we need to stay still. Stay still. And listen to the still small voice, and see how it interfaces with life as it emerges from the horizon, and show up. And that presence is the alchemy by which we continue to know more God and be more God and leave a legacy of light, whatever the outer legacy looks like. And please keep me in your prayers, because I am struggling doing that in my life right now. It's not coming easy. And I want to do good by y'all. You know, and then the instinct to regress into certainty can become very strong for me. Let's take another deep breath and let it all go. So we'll play with this a little more in meditation. But it's been lovely to be with you all today. I deeply, deeply love you. So let's have Nevin come up. Or is it? We still have the meditation. I did this last time. Thank you. Let's have the choir come up. They'll do another song, then we'll go into meditation, then Nevin will bring us home. Thank you, choir. Now I invite everyone to let's take a breath together and release. And close your eyes if you're comfortable. Put your feet on your floor, hands open in your lap. And feel free to take one slow breath in and just let it go. Not a performance breath, not a spiritual breath, just a real one. And I want you to bring to mind something you are being asked to claim right now. Something that life is offering you that you haven't fully said yes to yet. Might be a new capacity, a new relationship, a role or opportunity of service that you didn't expect, a joy that arrived. And part of you is still standing at the door saying, are you sure this magnitude of blessing is for me? Just let it surface. Whatever comes first is the right thing. Notice where you feel it in your body. It might feel like expansion, a flutter, or even resistance. Because claiming our good and our love and our joy is sometimes the hardest spiritual practice there is. Because claiming it means you believe you're allowed to have it. Breathe into that. Now allow that image to soften and bring to mind something you are being asked to release. Something you've been carrying. A role, a story about yourself, a protest about the way someone you love shows up, a clinging to money or status, any version of how this life is supposed to go. You'll know it because it's heavy in a way it didn't used to be. Perhaps it used to be fuel, but now it's weight. Notice where you feel that in your body. Might be your shoulders or your jaw, your chest. The places where we cling without knowing we are clinging. And just for this moment, you don't have to let it go. Just acknowledge it. Just say to it silently, I see you. I know you're ready. I'm getting there. Now hold both. The thing you're claiming and the thing you're releasing, both true, both here, both happening at the same time. Because that's how it works. We carry both at every stage. One hand claiming the ore, one hand planting it into obscurity. And right here, between claiming and releasing, this is where we actually live. Not in the future where it's all figured out, or the past where it all made sense. Right here in the in-between, where it's messy and alive and we don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. This is the present moment. This is where Spirit is meeting you. Here. Breathe into that. Now let both images dissolve. Come back to the room, the feel of the chair, the sound of my voice, the person sitting next to you. Attune to the jacaranda and its pelting flower blessings. And as you reacclimate, as you slowly open your eyes, I'll leave you with a rabbinic teaching that says every person should carry 2 slips of paper in their pockets. On one it says, "The world was created for me." On the other, "I am but dust and ashes." The world was created for me. I am but dust and ashes. And the spiritual life is reaching into the right pocket at the right time. I spent the last quarter reaching into the wrong pocket. I kept pulling out the world was created for me when the moment called for dust and ashes, for humility, for surrender, for planting the ore and allowing Spirit to direct the fruits. Perhaps Mary Jean had been reaching for the dust and ashes pocket when the moment called for the world was created for me. Both pockets are real, and both papers are true. So as you move through this week, when you hit a moment of decision, of discernment, of tension, where you're not sure where to step forward or back, just ask yourself, which pocket does this moment call for? And when you get it wrong, because we all do, that's not a failure. That's a backstitch, the strongest stitch. 4 spaces forward, 2 spaces back, reinforcing your evolution into love. And the seam holds stronger. And we send this prayer of discernment out to all of those in our minds and hearts and all of those on our prayer list here at Unity of Tustin. And for each and every one of us personally. And as you are ready, I invite you to take another deep breath. Open your eyes. And in perfect divine order and timing, we will invite up now the lovely Nevin to bring us back into this moment, to welcome our new visitors, and to prepare us for the last and final song of our juicy, juicy choir.
So good morning, everybody, here in person and online. Of course, you know I have to comment on what we just experienced with Reverend Shara. We were given empowerment to make the hard choices, to stop clinging to the raft, to move forward, even if it's scary and messy and doesn't seem very easy. And her ability to be completely authentic with us since the moment she arrived here, when she was leaving her home in New Mexico every week. And then she left that house and moved here, and then she was here, and now she's there. And every step of the way, she's been on an odyssey. And that 21-year-old student was as wise in so many ways as she is now. And her path has been her thesis. She's used it, she's lived it, and she shared it all with us today. And I can only imagine how hello, Unity Village. I can only imagine how grateful you are to have our Reverend Shara at leadership at Unity of Worldwide Headquarters. Amen to that. And we are grateful for the 5 years we had her. And she's welcome back anytime, ever. So, blessings to you, my friend. Such a beautiful talk. Such a beautiful person. Okay, at Unity of Tustin, we believe in one God, one heart, many paths. Our mission is to transform lives. We sure are doing it over here. And inspire people to make a positive difference in our world. We are a fully inclusive spiritual community, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we're glad you're with us. And if you're here for the first, hi Meredith. If you're here for the first or second time and you're comfortable doing so, please raise your hand. Our ushers are coming forward with a flower and a welcome card with information. Is anybody here for the first time? Back there, back 2 rows. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And after the service, please enjoy hospitality and fellowship around the hospitality table. I was trying to think of a new word for fellowship. Personship. At the hospitality table, and stop by our open door and welcome center. As always, we have our Reiki practitioners wearing green ribbons and our prayer chaplains wearing white ribbons, who are available at the entrance to the meditation garden to pray with you and offer you healing support. Prayer request forms are on the seat backs in front of you and at the entrance to the garden. And those prayer requests are lovingly held for 30 days before we send them on to Unity Worldwide. Is that what we call it still? Okay. Worldwide Shara Headquarters. And if you'd like guidance using the labyrinth, look for a facilitator wearing a blue ribbon. If we have any members of these ministries here, please stand so people can find you and come connect with you. There's Bonnie and Nicholas John and Susan and Joy and our head of it. Anyway, there they all are. And there's always so much happening in our campus of consciousness. Check out the Friday e-newsletter and visit the welcome table for upcoming classes, events, and service opportunities. How you doing there, Mary Jean? Now is the time for our love offering, supporting the work of our ministry. Electronic giving options are on the screens and on the cards on the seat backs in front of you. Offering bags will also be passed, and as they come to you, we invite you to put your hand on it. Here's one. As it comes, put your hand on it and connect with the spirit of giving, and we thank you for your faith and generosity. And now I welcome back Reverend Shara to give our offering message and blessing.
And gratitude. I have a ritual at my office at Unity World Headquarters where I look out onto the fountains on our beautiful campus. And you all wrote me beautiful goodbye notes. I think there's like 250. There's so many. And each day I'm at the office, I have them in that beautiful love box, and I'll read 1 or 2 before I leave for the day. And it's so beautiful because I get to remember each one of you, and it lifts me up, and it creates a regular microdose of traumatic joy. So very homeopathic, and requires me to grow my nervous system into the positive impact. I've gotten so much feedback from these letters. And I'm learning to trust it and believe it, because a lot of you are saying the same things. And I see the themes, and it's like, well, maybe it's true. Maybe we all can embody how much we matter and how we make a difference by showing up with sincerity as we fumble and as we thrive. And we need community to do this. This is the mycelium network. This is the resilience factory that allows us to show up and dare to be the blessing that we are. It's a daring, it's a courageous act. And it only happens because of our generosity of time, talent, and very much treasure. So I do ask everyone to look in your hearts and give generously, and to continue the generosity that so many of you do and have for years and years and years manifested, because I wouldn't be here without it. And that's true for so many of us, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you all, and let us affirm our love offering blessing together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive in joy. Let's live it and sing it.
We take this song and we dedicate
Thank you, choir. Thank you, Carol Roman, Leslie Sharp, Matt Manning on drums. So nice to have you today. All right, so please join me as we say the prayer for protection. And please stand if you're able to do that too. Oh, what a beautiful service. All right, together. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now go forth and discern which pocket you need to reach into. Blessings to you all.